There's a proven expression that two people working together have a better chance of solving a problem than one person working alone. Acts of this nature enables organizations to overcome setbacks and challenges in a shorter time frame. Hello and welcome to the Local Content Television program. I am Priya Faka and I'm glad to have you join us today.
The Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, Ncdmb, is calling on the public to follow the instructions of the Federal Ministry of Health on how to prevent the coronavirus spread. Regularly and thoroughly wash your hands with soap under running water or use alcohol-based sanitizer if water is not available. Cover your mouth and nose with your bent elbow or tissue when coughing or sneezing and dispose of the used tissue immediately. Avoid touching your eyes, nose and mouth with unwashed hands. Maintain at least 1.5 meters, that is 5 feet distance between yourself and anyone who is coughing or sneezing. Avoid contact with people if you have traveled recently to a country with COVID-19 outbreak in the last 14 days. If you have a fever, cough or breathing difficulty, call the Nigerian Center for Disease Control (NCDC) at 0800-9700-0010. Let us work together to stop the spread of the coronavirus. Reports any suspected case of COVID-19 to the NCDC toll-free line or visit NCDC website at ncdc.gov.ng for more information. This message is powered by the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, Ncdmb.
On this episode, we bring you the inauguration ceremony of the new Governing Council of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, held in Abuja. Keep watching.
The Governing Council is the highest decision-making organ of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, Ncdmb. Section 75 of the Nigerian Oil and Gas Industry Content Development Act empowers the Governing Council to manage and superintend the affairs of the board and make rules and regulations for its proper functioning, among other responsibilities. The council is made up of the Minister of Petroleum Resources as the chairman, the Executive Secretary of Ncdmb as Secretary of the Council, and representatives of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Department of Petroleum Resources, Ministry of Petroleum Resources, Petroleum Technology Association of Nigeria, Nigerian Content Consultative Forum, the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, and National Insurance Commission. Recently, at a brief ceremony in Abuja, a new Governing Council was inaugurated by the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Chief Timothy Silva. The new Governing Council members are Peace Oyambo Owe from the Ministry of Petroleum Resources, the first female to be on the council. Engineer Saraki Awalu, Department of Petroleum Resources. Engineer Farouk Said, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation. Lauren Dari Thomas, National Insurance Commission. And Nicholas Odinue, Petroleum Technology Association of Nigeria, PETAN. Returning members of the council include Mina Oforiokuma, Nigerian Content Consultative Forum, Engineer Abdul Kashim Ali, representing the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria. In his welcome address, the Executive Secretary Ncdmb, Engineer Sibikasi Wabote, thanked the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Chief Timothy Silva, for showing exemplary leadership and expressed delight over the new Governing Council members to be inaugurated.
On behalf of the management and staff of Ncdmb, I want to profusely thank the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources for his leadership and guidance in all our dealings. We are delighted that under his leadership, we are growing in leaps and bounds, and history is being made in the industry, and even as we gather together in this room. It is on record that we took the final investment decision and signed a multi-billion-dollar contract for the execution of the NLNG Train 7 project right in the thick of a global pandemic. We at the board are extremely grateful for the extensive roles you played to get the Train 7 project across the finish line. You have made history by putting an end to the 7-year drought of major FIDs in the oil and gas industry. At Ncdmb, we are always excited when projects such as the NLNG Train 7 get sanctioned so that our in-country capacities can be utilized and grown for further opportunities. We are also making history, sir, in this room, as we are about to witness the inauguration of the first ever female member of our governing council. We are really excited and grateful. We are really excited and grateful at the diversity and caliber of the incoming members of our governing council. At Ncdmb, we pride ourselves in the promotion of diversity in our activities.
Engineer Wabote also spoke about the importance of local content in the context of the global COVID-19 crisis.
COVID-19 has shown that when there are existential threats and nations are forced to close their borders, the ability of a country to cater for its people in a safe and secure environment is inversely proportional to its level of reliance on importation. Most nations diverted their products to their own use, while others did wait for any crumbs that fall off the table. As we speak, some countries are still unable to carry out tests due to lack of some basic reagents, while others have stocks in their inventory that last for the next 2 years or more. The importance of local content in any nation cannot be overemphasized, and the COVID-19 experience of many nations is an eye-opener.
The Executive Secretary Ncdmb stated that the pandemic afforded the board the opportunity to reflect on ways it can further deepen local content practice in the oil and gas industry.
We marked the 10th year anniversary of the board in the midst of the pandemic. It afforded us the opportunity to reflect on the events related to the pandemic and what we could do to further deepen our local content practice in the oil and gas industry. Our reflection is that we are not fully at our destination, but the situation could have been worse if not for the WEOG Act. We are set and we are looking forward to the next decade of Ncdmb with a sense of purpose to deliver our mandate. We need the support and indeed look forward to the backing of the Governing Council to make this goal a reality.
Chief Temipria Silva, in his ministerial address, commended the Ncdmb for efforts so far in deepening local content practice in the oil and gas industry since it was established in 2010.
Since 2010, the board has made monumental strides to deepen the practice of Nigerian content in the Nigerian oil and gas industry. There has been deliberate development of the local supply chain and growth in the number of Nigerian oil and gas service providers. Unlike before, when we had just a few, there are currently more than 8,000 service providers and more than 60 operating companies registered on the Ncdmb JQS portal.
The Honorable Minister further highlighted some of the achievements of the board.
Establishment of 2 world-class pipe mills and 5 impressive pipe coating yards. before 2010, only 3% of marine vessels are Nigerian owned. Today, Nigerians control and own 40% of vessels that are used in the oil and gas industry. Establishment of 4 active dry docking facilities in Port Harcourt, Onne, and Lagos. In the area of fabrication, Nigeria can handle fabrication of more than 60,000 tons per year. In cable manufacturing, all cables required in the oil and gas sector are all manufactured in country. Over 9 million training man-hours have been delivered via direct intervention and project-based training. We have grown a large number of successful indigenous operators, which now account for more than 15% of our oil production. More than 9 million man-hours of trainings have been delivered, apart from target interventions in ICT labs, teachers training, STEM education, GSM repairs training, and even agriculture to enhance human capacity development and sectorial linkages. The board rolled out the highly successful $200 million Nigerian Content Intervention Fund, carried out forensic audit of NCDF remittances, and sharpened its monitoring and enforcement roles to ensure compliance with the provisions of the Nigerian Content Act. These achievements would not have been possible without the full support and approval of the Ncdmb Governing Council.
Congratulating incoming members of the Ncdmb Governing Council, Chief Temipria Silva expressed government's appreciation for the services of the former council members.
I therefore want to use this opportunity to commend and appreciate the patriotic dispositions of the members who recently retired from the Ncdmb Governing Council duties due to statutory retirement from service or transfer to other duties. Your contributions in the governance of Ncdmb have been historic, and you should be proud of your achievements. The decisions you took in the past are yielding positive results today, and I am happy that your excellent characters are reflected in the Ncdmb we are all proud of today. I wish all the retiring members all the best in your new endeavors. For the incoming members of the Governing Council, let me first congratulate you on your nomination, and especially on the approval of your nomination by His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari. You have been found worthy of appointment into this critical priority agency of government, and I believe you will offer your best in the service of our fatherland.
He charged the new Ncdmb Governing Council to do all in its power to support the realization of the board's 10-year strategic roadmap.
You are coming on board at a very novel time in the history of mankind and downturn in the activities of the oil and gas industry. In the midst of so much uncertainty around COVID-19 pandemic and instability in the world oil market, we must look inwards to explore all opportunities to diversify and insulate our economy from external shocks. The board's 10-year strategic roadmap, launched in 2018, is a key compass to ensure that we derive more value in-country from our hydrocarbon resources. By 2027, the roadmap's target is to achieve 70% Nigerian content level in the oil and gas industry. I want this goal to be achieved so that we are able to domesticate petroleum refining, domicile manufacturing of industry requirements, extract value from gas, and position Nigerian operators and service providers at the forefront of play in the upstream, midstream, and downstream sectors of the industry. I therefore call on the incoming members of the Ncdmb Governing Council to do all they can to ensure that the set target is met by supporting the ongoing initiatives and by laying the foundation for the upcoming initiatives during your tenure. I want your decisions to be sound, timely, and in tune with the next level agenda of Mr. President, which is largely underpinned by creation of jobs for Nigerians.
The members of the Governing Council were inaugurated for a 4-year tenure, making this the third Governing Council in the 10-year history of the Ncdmb.
The Ministry of Interior, the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, Ncdmb, and the Department of Petroleum Resources, DPR, wish to caution operators of the oil and gas industry against engaging manpower supply companies to illegally source expatriates. Permits issued to manpower companies are strictly for the supply of Nigerian professionals only. Companies seeking to engage expatriates must obtain approvals from Ncdmb before applying for expatriate quota, temporary work permit, or order entry permits from Ministry of Interior, the Nigerian Immigration Service, or other agencies of government, while adhering to set guidelines and requirements. Ncdmb has intensified monitoring activities, and defaulting companies will face sanctions and penalties as specified in the Immigration Act 2015, Immigration Regulation 2017, as well as the WEOG Act. For further inquiries, please visit www.ncdmb.gov.ng and www.nogicjqs.gov.ng. Signed, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, Executive Secretary, Ncdmb, Director/CEO, Department of Petroleum Resources.
The Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, Ncdmb, is calling on the public to follow the instructions of the Federal Ministry of Health on how to prevent the coronavirus spread. Regularly and thoroughly wash your hands with soap under running water or use alcohol-based sanitizer if water is not available. Cover your mouth and nose with your bent elbow or tissue when coughing or sneezing and dispose of the used tissue immediately. Avoid touching your eyes, nose and mouth with unwashed hands. Maintain at least 1.5 meters, that is 5 feet distance between yourself and anyone who is coughing or sneezing. Avoid contact with people if you have traveled recently to a country with COVID-19 outbreak in the last 14 days. If you have a fever, cough or breathing difficulty, call the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, at 0800-9700-0010. Let us work together to stop the spread of the coronavirus. Reports any suspected case of COVID-19 to the NCDC toll-free line or visit NCDC website at ncdc.gov.ng for more information. This message is powered by the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, Ncdmb.
After more than 5 decades of the oil exploration in Nigeria, comes a board that is bringing together industry majors, investors, and the states in the oil and gas corridor of Nigeria and cementing access to oil fields for higher productivity, to build capacities in Nigeria, to support increased investment in the industry, to build local capacity and competencies, to create linkages to other sectors of the national economy, to boost industry contributions to the growth of our national gross domestic product, increasing Nigerian content in the oil and gas industry. Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, Ncdmb, building local capacities in the oil and gas industry.
The attention of the management of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board has been drawn to rumors of fictitious job vacancies. Members of the public are advised to disregard such information as the board is not conducting recruitment exercises of any form. The rumors are handiwork of some unscrupulous persons seeking to defraud unsuspecting Nigerians. Please note that all genuine Ncdmb vacancies, which are in strict compliance with the Public Service and Federal Character Commission guidelines, will be announced on the national dailies, broadcast stations, and our website.
The coming on board of the new Governing Council members indeed falls upon us at trying times, but there is no doubt that they are capable of handling the task before them. And that's what we have for you today. Thank you for watching, and remember, the ideal local content penetration cannot be achieved overnight. It is a continuous process that requires focus and tenacity to ensure its implementation. Your health is in your hands. Wash them regularly. Please maintain social distancing and wear your face mask in public places. I am Freye Faka, and I'll see you next week.